how to dream again. I'm going to show you how. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, partners, the world changes. All right, so if you're interested in hey, how can I start dreaming again? Well, I've been working with leadership teams, individuals, and couples for over 30 years, helping people to look at success differently. And part of that is to be able to look at where they want to go and how to actually start dreaming again. And believe it or not, one of the biggest challenges most people face is figuring out how to actually dream. There are so many people who've been stuck in protection or just in survival mode for so long that they seem to have lost that ability. There's actual specific studies that will suggest that as small children, there's different wavelengths that we have in our brains. And when you're young, when you're really young, you have the ability to dream and be in a dream state almost all day. But as we get older and older and older, and we start to react and we end up in these states where it's a fight or flight state, we lose that ability to dream. Now, the key areas where people are usually stuck with this and looking for a transition and trying to strive is it's big transitions in their life. Now, if you're younger, that may be that you're graduating or you've had your first job and you're starting to feel disenfranchised. If it's maybe it's a relationship, maybe you've transitioned from a relationship, had a divorce, broke up, something like that, and you're trying to reassess and define where you want to go. Sometimes it can be through work or a big health scare. Maybe work-wise you just lost your job, or you decided to transition from a job because you didn't like it. I've actually worked with dozens and dozens and dozens of high net worth individuals who sold their companies. They received everything they ever thought they wanted financially, but in reality they weren't very happy. So how can we start dreaming again? Well, the reality is that for us, there are processes and steps that you can do to achieve this, and I'm going to show you that. And one of the basics is, if you go to our website, it doesn't cost you anything, ask for a little bit of information, but and it'll take about 10 minutes of your time, but go to lifeon-yourterms.com and go about halfway down the page, and you're going to find something called the balance wheel. Now, the balance wheel is going to help you define A, where you are, so you can do an assessment of where you are today, but then also B, is going to help you to start figuring out, where do I want to go tomorrow? How do you start creating a vision of where you want to be? And this is the first step in dreaming. So when we talk about dreaming and we talk about what the balance wheel looks like, the balance wheel is going to take, like I said, about 6-7 minutes. You go through, answer the questions, be as open and honest as you can. I worked with some folks at Gallup to help me create this, and excuse me. It's going to go through and it's going to have a way to look at your entire life. It's an integrated life. So it's going to look at your relationships, your spousal, your friends, your family. It's going to look at your health, your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. It's going to look at your resources, your time, your most valuable asset, your talent, what your skills and abilities are, and your treasure. What stuff, money, things like that. And then lastly, what does your professional life look like? What are the job satisfaction, your environment, your comp? When you look at life on a holistic level, on an integrated level, it's going to help you to start defining where you want to go. This is the first step in learning how to dream. So once you do that, you're going to get it, and in some areas it may be strong, in other areas it may be weak. It's okay. Celebrate the areas that it's strong. In the areas that you have opportunities for growth, start to think about what can I do today to improve it. Now, when it comes to actually visualizing, in the past, years and years ago when I worked with people, it'd be like, okay, I want you to visualize what an amazing year looks like. And people usually go to the finances. Oh, I want a bigger house, I only want to fly private, I want a Maserati, and then their heads kind of explode. But the truth is that for people to have a truly healthy, balanced, integrated life where they're truly dreaming, very few of us only focus on that. In actuality, most of us are going to start looking at things more on a holistic, integrated life. And on this channel, I talk a lot about work-life balance and how that's hard to achieve, but a work-life integration, healthy work-life integration is possible. So dreaming is not something you just sit there and like, okay, I'm dreaming, hoping for the best. It's not going to work. But if you start putting the intention behind it, it's going to help. So the first step is, or after you've taken the balance wheel, is to go through each slice of the pie and say, okay, if I knew without any doubt I couldn't fail, what would amazing look like for this in 3 to 5 years? Or you know what, keep it at a year. Bring up 3 to 5 bullet points for each one of these things. So for my physical, if I knew I couldn't fail in a year, it means like, well, I'd be able to do a marathon. Whew, that's huge. Okay, if that's the case, own that. Think about it. I'd be able to do a marathon. I'd be happy with the way I looked physically, and I would be sleeping well. Okay, great, fantastic. Start with that. If you start to visualize where those things are, what it is you want, and you recruit your subconscious to help those things happen, well, then you're going to be able to build a plan or a strategy on how you can back in to make sure that that happens. But if you just sit on your couch and you hope that things are going to get better, it ain't going to happen. But if you can start to visualize where you want to go, that's going to help tremendously. Now, we offer a full course online, and it's a self-paced, lots of videos, and we have specific tools in there to help people learn how to dream again. If you have questions, we'd love to talk to you. If you found value in this, hey, check out some of the other videos on the channel, subscribe, and we look forward to hearing from you. Keep smiling.